Happy Monday. Welcome in. We are live in studio on this President's Day. Pat, Landrum, Molly, Conrad, and Damien just wrapped up the morning show, so Conrad will be back with us tomorrow. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. The Valentine's Day on Saturday. Today, President's Day. Just think, 1 year from right now, we will be celebrating President's Day the day after the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl's on Valentine's
that's
Day
right.
next year.
President's Day is always one of those days that I forget. I guess because we're working, typically on President's Day.
Schools are out.
Yep.
Banks are closed.
Traffic was great this morning.
Yeah, because you have such a big commute.
Well, there's mornings where every now and then you get those
I
straggler,
don't see
straggler carpool cars.
Anybody talking about commuting.
But you're
My
right.
Gosh.
I guess you notice it more than I do, but I still notice it, even with the close proximity of the station to my house.
I do. We want to hear from you on this Reaction Monday. I understand it was a lively Mac and Cube show with Damien and Conrad. Threats galore, so that's always good on a holiday.
Always.
It's a good way to start your
Monday.
On
a slow Monday, you have a threat coming in.
Yeah, a good threat. That's good. But that just means that Conrad is, kicking the heels over.
He's pushing buttons.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's what he does. He's a lightning rod.
We will keep you updated. We've got all sorts of Olympic stuff going on, including the women's hockey team. This is in the semifinals, as they are already up early in their game. So they up 1-0 now over the Swedes with about 6 minutes to go in the first period.
I feel good about this one. USA men's hockey, they await their opponent as they were successful in their preliminaries. Just kind of a quick recap. Did not go well for Quad God on Friday. Hated that for that. For that Olympic athlete.
All the so-called big names for Team USA, they have failed miserably.
Yeah,
I mean
that's just the truth. We don't like to see it either.
Lindsey Vonn, she crashed. Chloe Kim, no gold in the snowboarding. The Quad God, you saw what happened on Friday. More disappointment. Michaela Schifrin, she loses again. She finishes 8th. So, and then you had Erin Jackson from Ocala, Florida in the speed skating. She didn't even medal. So all the ones that NBC propped up that they were going to be the ones that were going to make all this extra money because of their gold or silver that they're going to win, none of them medaled.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for like a guy like Ilya and all of the hype leading up to the contest. Many people consider you the best in the world, and then you go out, all of that training, all of that build up and lead up to the event, and you can't get it done.
No. And it was bad, too.
I hated it for him.
Since he was number one
going
into the final, and not only did he fall once, but how many times did he fall, Molly?
Like 2 or 3.
Two or three?
Yeah, it was bad.
It kind of reminded me of the Summer Olympics, like 2020 maybe, when they had to push it back when Simone Biles got the yips.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be back. He's still, he's 21.
It was horrible to hear him, though, recounting what was going through his mind. And he said, all of a sudden, all of the traumatic and negative experiences I've had in my life came rushing through my mind, all of those thoughts.
Well, once you kind of hit that first bump, especially in a more artistic sport like that, it's really hard to switch your mindset in the middle of a performance like that.
You're thinking about
You're thinking about every other thing except acing it, really. I mean, he's still great. He'll be back. Give him 4 years. He'll be a little older. Maybe the pressure won't be as high on him. I mean, he's 21.
Yeah, it's not like Lindsey Vonn or Nick Baumgardner that are in their 40s.
He'll be back.
Got more time. Of course, Nick says that he's going to train, and Lindsay says she is as well. But
and he's still the only skater to actually successfully land the quad axel in competition. He just didn't do it at the Olympics.
Yeah. So we are watching the women's team right now, the hockey and the semis, and we'll keep you posted there. The men, they finished off Germany yesterday 5-1 to win Group C. And based on the way the tournament is set up, they will be the number 2 seed because Canada beat the snot out of France 10-2 yesterday. And because of the goal differential, that makes Canada the number 1 seed. So USA will be number 2. So, but the men looked.
I haven't looked at the odds to win gold, but Canada would be the odds-on favorite, I'm guessing, according to Vegas.
I think USA might be. I did see this morning where the U.S. women, they were a 4.5 goal favorite over Sweden today. They did not cover the other day, by the way.
No,
They were a 6.5 goal favorite
Well, they had 6. Is that what they had?
And they also gave up 1.
Oh, no.
I say, yeah, they gave up one.
Nah, trash goal.
So we'll keep you posted on that front. We will actually go to Italy, a homegrown talent for NBC Sports, someone that went to Hayden High School, Haley Sue Harbison Evans. She works for NBC Sports. She's over in Italy, and we're going to catch up with her coming up in the 11
That's
o'clock
awesome.
hour. Yeah, so we will actually have a conversation with someone, boots on the ground there in Italy. I think they're, 6-7 hours in front of us. So we will talk to her. She's one of the stage managers for NBC Sports. So pretty interesting. So we'll talk to her. Don't know if you saw this, but this is President's Day. And so the President of the United States, he is out playing golf today. I don't know. Doesn't shock a lot of people. The president, when he gets an opportunity, he likes to play golf.
Yeah.
But it is interesting who is a part of his group today. Governor Ron DeSantis. Not a big shock.
Okay.
Urban Meyer.
All right.
And Nick Saban.
Interesting.
That's a very, very interesting foursome playing golf right now.
That is wow. So much there. I'm just wondering, do we buy anything into this? Because I would think there would be a casual conversation about the College Sports Commission.
I think,
Or you think this is just,
Coach
you know what,
Saban
guys,
has
let's
moved
just go
on.
and knock it around.
Yeah, I really think Coach Saban has moved on. I think they're just like, it's whatever.
Chumming it up.
Yeah.
Think Saban's going to give him advice on Iran.
And that's a great foursome when you got Trump, DeSantis, Saban, and Urban Meyer all playing golf this morning together.
Wonder who low handicap is in that group. I know Trump's pretty good.
Why wasn't Hugh Freeze invited? Ringer? He's a ringer.
You got to have length and girth to play with that group. Maybe
He was so close to being invited.
he was.
So close.
He was.
That's good.
If
That's
yeah, it
really
is.
good.
If one of those guys had come up lame, then Hugh was the first alternate.
That was really good.
Yeah. I would think with the 4 that we have, though, those conversations probably a lot more interesting than if you took one of them out and added Hugh in.
Yeah.
Or it just depends on the conversation, I guess.
Well, there definitely could be some colorful stories between Urban Meyer and Hugh Freeze.
Yes. Indeed. Yep.
Maybe you just put those two in a cart and let them tell old war stories. I said war. Just want to make sure that nobody misheard me. I said WHR.
WAR. I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
I did.
Okay. It's Monday.
Yep.
And Molly's already got a zinger off.
That'd be great if it was a scramble. And you had other past presidents. Yeah, you got Barack Obama and his group.
Clinton played a lot of golf.
Clinton did. Clinton does not look like maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like what is golf shape, but I couldn't see Clinton doing it, but maybe he would. How old is Clinton? 80 something?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're playing a scramble and he can still hit a long way off the tee, then he's moving up to the 4 tees, the 5 tees.
He's 79.
You know, 79 years old. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people playing golf today.
Yeah.
We are not.
That's beautiful here. We will get into plenty of basketball talk. It was a very interesting weekend. Auburn loses on the road, their 4th in a row, this time to Arkansas. One of their top players suspended for the game. What does that mean moving forward? Bama, lackluster, but they did get a win against South Carolina. UAB, a disappointing loss at home. That has become the theme of the year at Bartow, unfortunately, for the Blazers. And a lot of things going on in the world of college sports, including Joey Aguilar. We'll update you on all of that. Plus, we'll take your phone calls at 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line. It is open on this President's Day, 205-834-9450. We'll keep you posted as they're about a minute away from going to the first intermission in the semifinal game in the women's hockey as the U.S. They lead Sweden 1-0. What do you think so far?
Our ladies look really fast out there on the ice. I'm looking at a really good skate so far. That was a good block by the goalie. By the United States. I've got to brush up on my hockey play-by-play. Sorry. Watch the blue line.
A lot of icing.
I like the USA road jersey. That's a good-looking jersey. The blue with the red numerals outlined in white. If I bought a hockey jersey, that's the hockey jersey I'd buy.
You can't go wrong with either one of them.
Nope, you can't. Sweden, meanwhile, is wearing the Phil Knight Oregon-inspired high-vis yellow.
Yeah, Swedes can play hockey. That was a great save.
That was a great save.
By the Americans. All right, we're off and running on this reaction money. We will open up the text line and your phone calls next on 3-Man Front. It is 10:15 here on this holiday, President's Day. We're live in studio. Hope you'll join us tomorrow. We'll be live at Social Taco from 10 until 2 o'clock. They are in their first intermission in the women's ice hockey semifinals between the United States and Sweden. The U.S. up 1-0. The Americans, 13 shots on goal in the first period, only 2 for the Swedes. So the Americans doing a really nice job getting opportunities to be able to shoot on goal. So they're outshot them 13-2 in that first period. So up 1-0.
How about our friends at Noto Roofing, locally owned and operated? You got Sammy and Matt, the brothers, Sammy and Matt Noto, doing a wonderful job. I've known those guys forever. They're people that you can trust, and that's where it all starts, because here in the state of Alabama, we're relationship people for the most part, and I know that we still can get things online, and that's easier sometimes. When it comes to your roof, protecting your home, don't you want somebody you can trust and someone who is not going to leave town in the middle of the night? If you have anything that should come up, well, the Notos are going to be here. They've been here all of their lives. Chris, one of their talented professionals, will come to your home. He's going to be very honest and open about what he finds. He's going to let you know if your roof doesn't need fixing. All the inspections, they're free to all Jocks listeners. They offer financing to help with the payments. They'll work alongside your insurance company and assist in the claims process if you need it. It's Noto Roofing. Say yes to Noto. Noto roofing.com. That's Noto roofing.com. Sammy Noto, when you call them, we'll answer the phone. Matt will come out to your home, as well as Chris. 205-848-2299. That's Noto roofing.com.
All right, so Arkansas took out Auburn over the weekend, 88-75. Keyshawn Hall, he was suspended for the game. Stephen Pearl told the Auburn Sports Network in the pregame he didn't live up to the standards of our program this week. He also went on to say, we've got to stop having distractions over the next month. I need to stop being to put in positions where I have to sit guys. So that was his comments before the game. The Tigers played hard. Todd Pettiford, he had 29 points. Keyshawn Murphy, 22 points. So they combined for 51 points. But when you have the opposition shooting 57% from the field like the Hogs did, Darius Acuff, Billy Richmond III combined for 56 points. Tough night for Auburn to overcome. But they played hard. They played spirited. They just didn't go mail it in with a Keyshawn Hall on the bench. It looked like he was being a good teammate during the game, getting up and supporting his teammates. But it's the fourth consecutive loss for Auburn. And that's the first time since 2020 that Auburn has lost that many games in a row. And it was Auburn's 10th game against an AP top 25 team this season. They're 3-7 against AP top 10 teams in the 2025-26 campaign.
Yeah, and Saturday night being shorthanded, but there were still too many opportunities where you would have a defensive stop, but then you would have a lapse, and then that was followed by another lapse. And it kind of the mantra continues here in this last stretch. And Auburn's played good basketball teams. They played quad one teams, but this is not, I think we would all agree, the same Auburn team that we've seen. And talking with someone, whatever the friction is within the program, and apparently it escalated maybe after the Vanderbilt game, there was a unifying, I guess you would call it, after the Arkansas game. And hopefully for Stephen Pearl, those guys, they get it figured out. Pat, I'm not making excuses for anyone, but who could have seen this happening when you get 13 guys that have never played together, a lot of them being the main guy at where they came from, not all winning programs where they came from, and then you try to make them mesh. There's other programs that are making it work, but just saying this is one of those outliers. It hasn't been working. Those guys got to figure that out. The coach can't do that.
No, they can't. The chemistry is so very important, and when you bring all those different pieces in together, I mean, it's a crapshoot. I mean, let's just be honest. It is with all teams. It's not just in Auburn, Alabama. Look at what's going on at UAB.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
same thing.
It's the way of the world. The Tigers, as Landrum mentioned, they have played 14 quad one games now, but they're 4-10 in quad one games. They head to Starkville on Wednesday night. Let's hear from Stephen Pearl post game after the Auburn Tigers lose their fourth in a row.
Thought our guys battled tonight. Obviously playing a shorter rotation. Heavy minutes for a lot of our guys. Thought did a good job of putting out the effort that was required in order for us to, have a chance. Did a good job in the first half of just dwindling it down to 6. And, the beginning of the second half, we missed 3 just, wide open shots, and they come down and convert on all 3. And that was, ultimately where the game kind of got away, got up to 21, and then you're kind of fighting back the rest of the half and the rest of the game. They had a lot of step up. Billy Richmond, has 12 2-point baskets, and that was a huge point of emphasis for us, is trying to keep them out of 2-point field goals. And he did a great job for him. And, he's an X factor when he can do those things. And then, Darius obviously makes 7 threes. So those two things right there ultimately where the game was decided. And, they just did a great job of disrupting us with some of their ball pressure early, kind of throwing us off balance. And, I thought we had some step up from, Murph and Tahad offensively. We weren't able to get enough stops to kind of stay in the game and didn't make enough easy open ones as the game went on. So,
yeah.
Auburn currently, in the latest bracketology, a 9 seed in the NCAA tournament.
You look at the rest of their games, Pat. They get 6 SEC games left. At Mississippi State, that's a game that they should win. You get Kentucky at home. That's a gettable game in Neville. At Oklahoma, it's never easy to travel, but you can get that one. An Ole Miss team you've already beaten on the road. LSU, worst team in the league coming in, and then at Alabama. You don't have to win all of those games, in my opinion, but you certainly can't afford to lose at Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU. Those are games that you've got to win.
Absolutely.
You've got to win. Because even with the strength of schedule versus overall record, you're getting the benefit of the doubt because of that schedule. But then you have to ask the question as a committee member, if this team limps in and somehow still has a qualifying number according to the metrics. I mean, you're staring at 4 straight L's right now. And if you go 3-3 in your final 6, that's going to be hard to convince me that this is a tournament-worthy team.
Well, we used this example
even with the schedule
about a week ago in regards to what happened with Alabama football. They got a lot of credit by that win on the road against Georgia. Auburn is getting a ton of credit, the road win against Florida, because Florida continues. I mean, I saw guys over the weekend, all this Northeast intelligentsia in college basketball, and they said right now the team that scares them the most is Florida. And we've seen this coming.
Yeah.
Just the way that Florida is coming together as a basketball team, and they're going to make a serious run to potentially back that up, that national championship from last year in San Antonio, see what they can do this year. Meanwhile, Alabama, they took on South Carolina, 89-75. It was the finals, so if you just look at the box score, you're like, okay, Alabama, a double-digit win. I think Bama was like a 17, 18-point favorite going into the game, something like that. But the problem was, if you watch the game from start to finish, man, it was very disjointed. Alabama's defense was not sharp at all, and they kept South Carolina, one of the worst teams in the league, kept them in the game. And if you're an Alabama fan, that's concerning. Aiden Holloway did finish 4 of 5 on three-pointers as part of his 20 points on the night. Phylon went 4 of 7 from deep. He had 19 points. Alabama, once again, they're heating up from the outside at the right time of the year. They hit 14 three-pointers. That's the 6th straight game with 12-plus three-pointers made. That's only the second time in the Nate Oates era that has happened. Alabama wins its 4th consecutive game. That's the 11th straight win against South Carolina. Bama now improves to 8-4 in the SEC, but Nate Oates not very happy after the win.
It was just 4 in a row. We a lot of stuff we didn't do great, but we did enough to get a win in SEC play. We have 3 guards, scored it pretty well. We took care of it a lot better in the second half. I wasn't happy with our first half turnovers, but thought 20 assists, 12 turnovers. We did a decent job moving it. Six straight games, we've hit at least 12 threes, so we're starting to shoot it like I thought we could shoot it. I think getting right till healthy is a big part of that. The one thing I was not happy at all about was our defense on Michi Johnson in the second half. I mean, he had 2 at the half. We told those guys he's coming. We saw it when he played Texas, and sure enough, he was coming, and he ended up with 24 in the second half, and I went into a good job. I thought multiple guys, didn't play him the way we were supposed to. Guys on the help side weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. We just we've got to get a defensive intensity about us. We're still not there yet on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll keep pushing. We'll keep trying to get better. We got to be a lot better on Wednesday because our Arkansas is a lot more talented team than what we saw tonight.
That goes without saying. Arkansas 9-3 in the SEC. They're playing their best basketball of the year, so that should be a wild one Wednesday night at Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah, and looking, the 3-point shooting, that's not necessarily, and I know that we've been corrected in the past. Alabama shoots it well, that they're going to win the game. They can win in other ways, but this is more characteristic of Nate Oates' teams we've seen over his tenure at Alabama and being able to do it. And again, you didn't have the huge offensive output that you've had in the second half of your previous two games, but you still doubled up your score. You had 45 at the half. You were able to get almost 45 in the second half. But this team does have a lot of shooters, and not every team does. And guards, veteran guards that can shoot, carry teams through the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
That's how you advance. Those kinds of guys that have been in it before hit big shots. I think Nate Oates got to be really, really comfortable. But you look at the next 6 games that they have, I think they're all winnable. But Arkansas to me, and well, at Tennessee obviously, but Arkansas to me, that's going to be very, very interesting to see that particular matchup with this Alabama team, because I think they match up well with one another.
The key in the SEC race is to finish in the top 4. If you're a top 4 team going to the SEC basketball tournament, you get a double bye, which is good. So right now you got Florida on top, followed by Arkansas, and then you have a logjam after that. And I'm not going to go through all the different tiebreakers, but I can just tell you right now, Vandy, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama all with an 8-4 record. So that's a big game. It's a big swing game for Alabama if they can get that against Arkansas. Then right behind that, we see Texas A&M. They're fading fast, which we kind of predicted because the second half of the season, the schedule was going to be unkind to the Aggies, and that's what's happening because you got Mizzou, Texas, and the Aggies all with a 7-5 record in SEC play. Georgia has fallen off significantly. They're now tied with Auburn with a 5-7 record. So very important for Alabama to get that one Wednesday night at home against Arkansas to try to solidify their place potentially for a double bye in the SEC basketball tournament. We mentioned UAB. It was another disappointing day at Bartow Arena yesterday. It was the Gene Bartow Classic. They have that once a year. And Tulane was in town, a team that UAB took to the woodshed down in New Orleans early part of the year. The Blazers been playing very well on the road. Only one win at home against Rice. That came a week ago on Sunday. But the Blazers did not shoot the ball well at all. They were down by 13 points at one time. They came back. They had multiple shots to tie the game at the end. And if you didn't see it or hear it on Jocks 2, the last 43 seconds of the game, the Blazers missed 8 shots. Think about that for a second. 43 seconds left in the game. They missed 8 shots that could have sent the game into overtime. It was a wild finish. They had tons of three-point looks, long rebounds, rebound after rebound. UAB had opportunities. They hit a tap-in at the buzzer, but they were 1 of 15 from the field to end the game. 1 field goal, and that was the tip-in with 1 second left to make it a 55-54 game. They shot 32% on the day. 32%. They missed 23 three-pointers. 23. Bartow Arena is not a good place for this UAB basketball team because they lose again at home. They fall to 7-6 in the American, 16-10 overall on the season. They've got Temple on the road, which the Blazers are undefeated in the American Conference. So they'll go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to take on the Owls. But take a listen to a very frustrated Andy Kennedy after yesterday's loss.
We had our moments, and we just didn't take advantage of them. Evan had a layup in the open floor we didn't make. Daniel had multiple. I mean, guys, we're talking about layups, man. These are college scholarship players that are making more money than most people in this room. Is it too much to ask for you to make a layup? Seriously. I mean, guys, we're in bozo land, man. We're in bozo land, man. I mean, just can't finish at the basket.
Andy Kennedy.
I love AK and just keeping it real. And I'm sure that this day, and just asked Jerome Tang the nature of college athletics, he probably wanted to say more, but he refrained. But yeah, it's been frustrating. And this is really 2 years, Pat, where it's been frustrating shooting at home, at least from the outside for UAB. Because I made a joke to AK last year on the podcast, and I said, Coach, have you had the rims at Bartow checked? Are we sure that those are regulation? the cylinder is actually has the regulation radius that it needs. And he kind of laughed. But unfortunately, whole new group of guys, that has continued. And you think, how about a guy like a Budda Johnson? How much he could mean?
Yeah, he's
to
doing
this
pretty
team.
good at Clemson right
Yeah.
now.
And not putting that on AK. We know the transfer portal on NIL, it is not all created equally. But yeah, it's a struggle. I still have belief in this UAB team, though. They can easily win the American Conference tournament.
It's definitely not going to be Memphis. I mean, Memphis got beat by like 25 points to Utah State the other night.
And they got two guys that are suspended indefinitely from the program.
Yeah. They've got 2 road wins this year. The whole year. Memphis has 2 road wins. One of those coming at Bartow Arena against UAB. It's just a weird season. Very odd, especially in the American. All right, when we come back, we got calls coming in. We will get to those. Top of the hour, we'll go to Italy. We'll get the very latest. Boots on the ground there at the Olympics. One of our own, homegrown in the state of Alabama. Actually went to high school with Conrad.
And that's great news because I do not speak Italian, my friend.
You don't? Okay.
Spaghetti.
Is this interview going to be in Italian or?
Well, no, if she's from Hayden.
It'll be Haydenese.
Haydenese. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So much to get into on this President's Day. Thanks for tuning us in on this holiday. This is Jocks. They have resumed action over in Italy. Women's semifinal action between the United States and Sweden. Right now, the U.S. up 1-0 as they just got started in the second period. So we'll keep our eye on that throughout the show.
Well, flu season is here, so make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. It removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. It's 100 times more effective than standard air filters and 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. So go and find a dealer near you at Trane.com.
So if you saw it on social media over the weekend, the Birmingham Stallions, they released their new uniforms and their new helmet. I mean, we had been tipped off that they were going to be changing the helmet, which is very interesting to me just personally, being a helmet geek, is that the iconic look of the Birmingham Stallions since its inception in the old USFL was always the gold helmet with the stallion on the side of the helmet. And now they're going to, I don't know, what kind of red would you call that? Kind of, is that more of a ruby?
Is it a burgundy?
A ruby? I don't know what official color that would be
I feel
classified.
like ruby's a good word.
It's
Ruby?
more.
Yeah.
It seems like the
It's not
red,
a Mississippi State or Texas A&M maroon. It's a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just. Would you compare it to the Commanders / Redskins?
I think it's a little bit more. To me, it looks like it's a little bit more.
Like a jewel tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand, Molly, that the owner of the UFL, he has gone on social media and has already taken shots at the Birmingham Stallions fan base.
Yeah, so Stallions fans have come out and they've released their thoughts on the jerseys pretty much. And the owner, Rapoli, said, just showed the UFL Stallions fans the new uniforms and shockingly, in quotes, they're not happy, complaining already. Their fan base is harder to please than my family, with the facepalm emoji. So I guess it's time to admit it. Why don't we let Randall Woodfin design them? My suggestion is that all the fans buy season tickets ASAP and protest the uniforms in the stadium. Win games and suddenly everybody will love the new uniforms. That is from Mr. Rapoli's Twitter.
Well, the franchise won in the old uniforms. So I mean, okay. I mean, again, he owns the league. He is the number one financial benefactor for St. John's men's basketball. He's sitting courtside for the almost called them the Red Men. I would have been in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm old school.
it's been a minute.
Chris Mullen.
Who was the old coach? Was it Carnesecca?
Yeah, it was Lou Carnesecca. Yeah. That was a great league, man. You had Carnesecca, you had Raleigh Massimino, George Thompson, Boeheim. It was fun.
John Thompson.
Yeah.
I think who else was a part of that league at that time?
A guy named Rick Pitino.
Yeah, I remember Patino.
He's pretty good.
Had a
At
guy
Providence.
that played for him named Donovan.
Mm-hmm. Turned out pretty good.
He could shoot it from the outside.
But yeah, I saw an interview over the weekend where Rick Pitino basically said that if it was not for Mike Rapoli, that the St. John's basketball team would be nothing.
I will say this about the Stallion uniforms. At least somebody got the memo. If you're going to have gold or a shade of gold, like a muted gold tone, have the dark numbers where everybody can see them from the stands and the
That
press
is a good
box.
move.
So, yeah, it'll take some getting used to. But Rapoli taking over, you're trying to drive merchandise sales. And if you want the new look gear, I guess you would be forced to have to go and buy new look gear.
Yeah, but just
I know.
once
I know.
again, this fan
Seems
base
like
is harder to please than my family.
It does seem like he's got it out for the Birmingham fan base.
Well, let's talk to one of the. I know we got a couple on hold
That's what
now.
it feels like, Mike.
Let's talk to Chris or Don first. Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
Hello, happy Monday, and yeah, Landrum, you just hit it on the nail. This is a merchandise thing. I agree with you on that. They want to make people like me and Boomer and the rest of the horsemen go out and buy new gear. That's exactly right. I agree with that.
You gonna buy new gear?
Of course I am.
Okay, good.
But and you know I'll be at every game, and we got a lot of stuff planned and everything. And when I see y'all tomorrow, I'm going to talk to y'all more about what Old School and me are doing. And we got a bunch of stuff getting ready to happen for the Stallions. But let's talk a little college basketball real quick. Andy Kennedy shouldn't be the only one mad, because besides Pettiford and Murphy and everything, nobody else scored we can't make layups either.
You got to get the bunnies. You got to
It
get
was
the
like,
bunnies.
well, yeah. Oh, hey, you spelled the word right. Hey, yeah, you got to make the bunnies and you got to make the pros in the tournament time.
Don, I don't know if you listened when we were joining, but just speaking to people that are around the program, apparently there was some friction after the Vanderbilt game there amongst the team, but apparently there was a forging moment after the loss to Arkansas. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yes, because Sean Hall probably won't play another game this year, and Landrum, it started, and Pat and Molly, it started with about the 12, 13-minute mark. They had a problem with the inbounds pass from Pettiford and Hall. And Hall showed his rear end and everything. That's why he got benched the last part of the game, and I don't think he'll play another game.
Did you see that somewhere? Is that just your gut, Don, about Keyshawn Hall not playing?
That's what I'm hearing. Now, you know me, I keep up with it every day. That's what I'm hearing. I heard they had a problem in the locker room after the game, too. That's what I'm hearing on all my Auburn podcasts and stuff.
Okay.
That I watch and everything. But to be honest with you, we got 6 games left.
Sounds right. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, you got 6 SEC games left and then the tournament.
If Auburn goes less than 3-3, they're not making the tournament. That would be my prediction. They have to win at least. They have to go 8-10 to at least make the tournament, in my opinion, in the SEC. But they're also going to probably be playing on the opening day the way the bracket works.
Well, it just depends on which of those you say. If they go 3-3, it depends. I mean, let's say, for instance, you beat Alabama at Coleman Coliseum, then all of a sudden that's a huge win. And obviously heading into the final week or so of the season, and that committee looks at that, going to Coleman Coliseum and getting a win against a very good Alabama team, that could, be a huge stepping stone for them to get in the tournament. It just depends on how many of those 3 wins come against quad 1 opponents.
Well, now one thing on that, Pat, and everybody else, we got some good quality 1 wins. I mean, you look at us. Speaking of St. John's, we beat St. John's. We beat Arkansas, and to me, the biggest win of anybody, that win at Florida, to me, might get us in the tournament.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, when you look at the rest of the SEC and quad 1 wins, obviously Florida has 8, Vandy's got 7, Arkansas's got 6, Bama and Kentucky and Texas have 5. And then how about this? Tennessee and Auburn both have the same number of quad 1 wins with 4.
Tennessee only has 4. I did not realize that.
Yep, Tennessee's 4 and 7.
And just to give you an idea, and the schedule, but you've got, this Auburn team played Michigan, Arizona, Houston, Purdue. Was Iowa State in this year's non-conference? I can't remember.
Didn't they play them in a tournament?
I don't think so, but we beat.
Or that was last year.
Was that last year?
That was last year. That's right.
We did.
Got the win over St. John's. That's a big win. That you can go to. But after, Don, to your point, after they beat Florida for the first time in 30 years in Gainesville this season, I told Pat on the show on Monday, that could be one of those wins that ultimately, if you're splitting hairs in the NCAA tournament committee, that will loom large when it comes to that decision. And that could be the one that actually gets him in the tournament.
Right. In the other non-conference game we won, Landrum, I don't know how good NC State is. NC State good at all?
Well, yeah. According to Will Wade, he needs more players, but they're 18-8. Imagine that. Yeah, they're 29th in the net rankings.
Well, there you go. That could be considered a good win. We beat them in the ACC SEC Challenge.
Yeah. So all of this is being factored in as we speak, but you can't go and lose to a Mississippi State.
No.
You can't lose to an LSU. You can't lose to Ole Miss.
No, and Oklahoma, too.
Yeah, you probably need to get that one there.
Okay, but I think if we get to 8 and 10, that we're going to be still be in the 8-9 game, which means that if we win one game, we'll have to play a number 1 seed the second round.
And Don, here's the thing, and I think you would agree with this. Watching this Auburn team now, as opposed to when we have seen them playing at their best, right now, I don't want to see this Auburn team in the NCAA tournament.
No, you know what? I agree with you 100% on that one, okay? So it ain't going to bother me if we miss it, Landrum. And I'm not going out. By the way, wherever y'all are going to be at, I'm not going out of town like I usually do. I'm going to be with y'all for wherever you guys
Awesome.
are going to be.
Well, we
on that
got some.
Thursday.
Hopefully, we got some big things planned that we'll announce for March Madness and the show,
Yeah.
and different things that we're going to be doing.
And real quickly, I want to give a plug to your one of your new sponsors. Okay.
Okay.
I went by Crash yesterday and went through the great drive-through service and the great service there. Guys, those chicken fingers I had, that's the best I've ever had in this town.
Wonderful.
Everything. So to your listeners, I highly recommend y'all going to this place, and they support my Stallions. So by golly, Don is going to support them.
Attaboy. Thank you, Don Dime. We appreciate it, man. Have a happy President's Day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See y'all bright and early tomorrow.
All right, my friend. Thank you. That sound means there's breaking news here on the show. For more, let's send it to a very patriotic Pat Smith, who is standing by with Old Glory there on the hat.
Well, the United States, they were penalized, and Sweden was in a power play that the U.S. killed. And then moments later, the U.S. scores to make it 2-0 against Sweden. But moments ago, the United States has been penalized again, so they'll have to kill another penalty play.
Kill it!
A power play, I should say. As the U.S., though, up 2-0 as we're at 10:30 to go in the second period. The Swedes have had a lot more shots on goal. Remember, they only had 2 in the first period. They've had 8 so far in 10 minutes of play here in the second period. But the Americans, they have outshot Sweden 18-10. They've put 2 in the net, and so the Americans have a 2-0 lead.
Taylor, she just got penalized for form tackling a Swedish player from behind.
That's not good.
I disagree. She disagreed with it. She threw her hands up like, what did I do? I agree.
No one's ever penalized, right?
We're just built different.
Ever.
Yeah. All right, we will continue on. We'll take more of your phone calls. Top of the hour, we'll actually go to Italy and talk to Hayden's very own NBC Sports. We'll talk to her and see what's going on over in Italy.
I can smell the heavy cream.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Haley Sue
I love
Harbison
Italian
Evans will join us at the top of the hour here on Jocks. Well, good news. The Americans, they killed another power play, and they had a breakaway shot on goal that was blocked away by the Swedish goaltender. So it's still 2-0 is the Americans with 8:10 to go in the second period up over Sweden in the semifinals.
I have no idea who the American player was, but we just watched her. She's behind the Swedish goal. You have Swedish goalie in there. You have 4 other Swedish players, and then this lone American down there playing keep away from 4 Swedes. It was a beautiful thing to watch.
It was fantastic. Americans continue to have breakaway after breakaway and unable to get a third goal, but they have killed 2 power plays. Americans have outshot the Swedish team 19-12, and they lead 2-0. But we will go to Italy. Haley Sue Harbison Evans, great story. Went to Hayden High School, went to Sanford University, works for NBC Sports, so she is boots on the ground over, like what boots on the ground?
Yes.
Boots, Italy.
Yeah.
See.
I do. I've never been to Italy. I would love to go to Italy. Just do it all. Come back 15 pounds heavier. Now, they claim that the food is healthier over there.
Mm-hmm. It's probably the oils they use. A little bit different than
less additives.
what we use here.
Did you go Italian for your Valentine's Day?
Mm-mm.
You didn't?
No. Went steaks.
Oh, you can't go wrong with a steak.
I had pizza rolls.
Yeah. So you did go Italian.
But no, wait, hold
Kinda.
on a second. Now, Friday night, you had sushi.
You went to dinner.
You
Yeah,
had sushi.
but on Valentine's Day, I
With
had
the fam?
pizza rolls.
But,
Yeah,
but
pizza
see,
rolls?
but I mean, I think on Valentine's I had tacos.
Yeah, it was great.
No, Friday night was just like for you. Friday night,
Yes, we
you
got
had,
sushi.
Yeah, you had sushi,
Mhm. It was yummy.
and we had steak.
We got takeout from a popular place here. And it's not too far from my house. Golly, it was so good. It was really good. And I didn't have to fight the crowds. Didn't have to sit there.
Oh, that's what we do now. We just
Yeah.
get stuff, pick it up, and just sit in the dining
Well,
room and.
And that's what we did.
I didn't have to fight anybody for my pizza rolls.
No. But
That's
I
great.
tried
How about
to
your new
make
friend?
Oh, stop it.
I tried to make it romantic, and we never do this, but we sat down at the table and I lit some candles, had some dim candlelight, and then as an old person like me does after you eat a lot of Italian food, then I immediately went to the couch and was ready.
And slept.
Slept
for a while.
to fall asleep. You got to plan out your Valentine's Day well, which I did. I texted you early on.
Yes, you did. I appreciated that.
And you gave me the thumbs up.
I did.
It's good. Hope everybody gave a thumbs up.
What does that say? My eyes are not as good as I used to. I've got my
7:23
glasses
left
on.
in the second period. U.S. on top of Sweden 2-0
Okay.
in the semifinal.
All right. Americans were a 4.5 goal favorite against the Swedes. We've outshot them 20-12 as we just shot another one. I love the Olympics, especially the hockey, watching the Kachuk brothers. Like, they're there now watching.
They
Yeah.
are awesome.
They're
Yeah.
sitting there watching, and I would think that if something happened on the ice, they
Oh!
would probably be over the top board.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Brady Kachuk, he had an elite chirp the other day against the Germans. Yesterday, actually.
Those guys stole my heart during the whole world thing.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
I really enjoyed that. Are we doing that again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Four Nations.
Yeah.
or
That was
whatever they call
awesome.
it.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
But
was
to Leon Draisaitl, who's on the German team, he also plays for Edmonton, and the Panthers beat Edmonton in the playoffs last year. He goes up to him and he goes, "Hey, always a bridesmaid, huh? Never a bride, always a bridesmaid."
Ah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Kachucks from St. Louis, Missouri.
For a sport that I fully don't understand and I really couldn't operate at a very elementary level just based on my lack of skating ability on ice, I really appreciate that they still get after it and they still let them get after it.
Who are the American women playing? They're all running together now. Was it Italy? The women
Yes,
late
where
last
it
week.
got really, really chippy late.
Yeah, and the coaches.
Yep.
Were
I
Yep.
think that was Italy, yeah.
That was Italy.
yeah. That was something else. But see, I'm like you. See, I get really excited for both men's and women's hockey at the Olympics. I may not pay as much attention to obviously the NHL, but watching international hockey, I dig that. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I pay very little attention to the NHL.
Um,
Now, playoffs, I will catch some playoff hockey and a little bit of the Stanley Cup, but no, I'm like you.
Well, now that Nick Saban owns the Predators, I know that Conrad's a huge Predators fan.
You're representing our country. You're going up against the rest of the world. I'm in.
Well, speaking of that, Haley Sue Harbison Evans. She went to Hayden High School. She went to Sanford University. She works for NBC Sports. We're going to talk to her next. She is in Italy. We'll ask her all sorts of fun questions about the Olympics, her duties, how it's going over there, all that. Straight ahead, we're live on this President's Day on Jocks.